Hello everyone, my name's Kim, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing the WWE Royal Rumble 2022 pay-per-view predictions. This is always one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. As you guys know, I do really love the very chaotic, violent pay-per-views. Elimination Chamber, which is sadly going to be in Saudi Arabia this year. TLC, Hell in a Cell, and the like. Those are some of my very favorite pay-per-views to watch. In fact, War Games has consistently been one of my very favorite pay-per-views for the last 4 years, because War Games is fucking awesome. However, when it comes to non-violent sort of matches and stuff like that, my favorite happens to be the Royal Rumble. It is one of my favorite times of the year. Rumble season is when we see all these amazing returns and all these surprise pops that we get to see. And also, honestly, the Rumble just, it has a way of making you feel, you know what I mean? It really, really excites you when you get to watch the Rumble and get to see the match play out. It's really fun. So, besides doing just the predictions that Jesse and I have both made for the Rumble, I'm also going to talk about some predictions I have for the overall Rumble as a whole, for people who I think are going to come back during the Rumble, for some surprise pop-ups in the Rumble, stuff like that. And yeah, so let's start by doing the title matches. There's 3 title matches and 1 non-title match before the Rumbles. So we're going to start with the non-title tag match. We have a mixed tag match between Edge and Beth Phoenix and The Miz and Maurice. Jesse and I have both gone for Edge and Beth Phoenix, otherwise known as the Grit Couple. I love that nickname. It's great. I really think that that Edge and Beth Phoenix getting a tag together is a really cool thing, because, yeah, they've never gotten to in their careers. They were always kind of doing separate things during their careers, so I think it's really cool that they get to come back, even if it's for a one-off match, that they get to tag together. Next, we have the Raw Women's Championship match. We have Becky Lynch, the current champion, facing Doudrop. We've both gone for Becky Lynch, because let's be honest, it's pretty obvious we're probably going to get Lynch and Belair at Mania. And, yeah, so derailing it with Doudrop here would make no fucking sense. But then again, they've done that in the past, so I wouldn't put it past WWE. Next, we have the WWE Championship match. We have Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. We've both gone for Lesnar to retain. This is probably one of the first times Jesse and I, since like 2019, I think, that we've wanted Lesnar to actually retain his championship. For the most part, from like late 2019 onward, we wanted Lesnar to continuously lose. Like there's been times when we've wanted him to win, and it's weird to actually want Lesnar to win for once. A lot of the time it was against Braun Strowman and or Goldberg that we wanted him to win, but still. And finally, we have the Universal Championship match. We have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins, because it's not just Seth Rollins anymore, it's Seth freaking Rollins, which is just fantastic. Before we get into the Royal Rumble predictions, though, I'm going to go through the current announced participants. So for the Men's Rumble, we have special entrant Johnny Knoxville of Jackass fame, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, both Rey and Dominic Mysterio, Austin Theory, Sheamus, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, and Big E, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Sami Zayn, Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, Omos, Randy Orton, Riddle, Chad Gable, Otis, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, and Ricochet, leaving us with 5 possible, what's the word I'm looking for? 5 possible surprises, unless some people would get taken out of the Rumble, which happens a lot. It happened last year, it happened 2 years ago, I think it even happened 3 years ago, where they had like a huge amount of people announced for the Rumble before the Rumble, and then some of those people just didn't go into the Rumble. And I know, because I always list out who's been announced, so Jesse and I have an idea of what we can look through, to kind of get an idea of like, okay, yeah, let's go for this, so we know who's in the Rumble, because it really helps. However, 5 entrances is probably, I think, the lowest they've given us for the Men's Rumble in a while. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see where this goes. I'm expecting some surprise entrants, and we'll get onto that in a minute. But Jesse and I have both predicted Big E to win. I will say this. I would love for Kofi Kingston to win this. Like, I would be 100% okay if Kofi won this. Because when you look at Kofi's career, he's been a tag champ, an IC champ, a US champ, and a WWE champ. But he's never won the Royal Rumble. He's never won the Money in the Bank match. And I think he's won Survivor Series. I think he's been on a winning Survivor Series team. But he's not done so much. And Big E at this point has already won the WWE Championship, the IC Championship, the Tag Championships, and the Money in the Bank. I just feel like it'd be kind of cool if Kofi got this one before him, even though he did get the WWE Championship before him. I think it'd be a really cool thing to let Kofi win this instead of Big E, even though it makes more sense for Big E to win it, which is why we chose Big E. But I would absolutely love it. If Kofi won this, I wouldn't be pissed. Like, there's a lot of people in this that I'm going to be really pissed if they win. But Kofi ain't one of them. And next on to the Women's Rumble, we have Rhea Ripley, Nikki A.S.H. Such a dumb name. Dana Brooke, Queen Zelina Vega, Tamina, Carmella, Shotzi, Natalya, Aaliyah, Naomi, Shayna Baszler, Charlotte Flair. I very misspelled her name. Nikki and Brie Bella, Lita, Michelle McCool, Kelly, Summer Rae, Mickie James, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Sasha Banks, and Sonya Deville. I'm actually really excited for the Women's Rumble. There's 7 possible surprises, barring somebody getting taken out of the match for any reason. A lot of the time, WWE just tends to kind of remove people from the Rumble match for no real reason. So we could get a few people who are getting taken out of that during the show. Like, literally during the show, like, before, like, a little bit before the Rumbles go on. Jesse and I have both predicted Liv Morgan to win this match. It just makes sense, man. Becky and Liv, with Liv winning it at Mania, makes the most sense storyline-wise. Like, wait, what? No. I mean, Becky and Bianca makes sense. What am I saying? But Becky and Liv makes a lot more sense. I think that's where they're going with it. Granted, if they do Becky and Bianca, so be it. But I feel like Liv getting this makes a lot of sense. A lot of people do think Bianca's gonna make it, and that's kind of the set thing for Mania. I don't feel that way. Like, I don't see that coming. I mean, it could happen, but I think more than likely, Sasha dethroning Charlotte for the championship and Bianca and Sasha round 2 at Mania makes more sense to me. But obviously, I think Becky and Liv would be a great match. I think Becky and Bianca would be a great match if they actually give it the time it deserves to have a singles match. But I guess we'll see. Obviously, we'll see when the Rumble happens if Bianca or Liv wins. I think Liv winning makes the most sense, though, and taking the title off Becky at Mania. That's just the way I feel. So, let's talk who I think are going to be the surprise entrants for both the men's and women's Rumble. So, first off, I do want to preface this by saying I do think that something's going to happen to take Robert Roode, Otis, I think Robert Roode, Otis, and Damian Priest out of the match beforehand. Now, granted, I would love to see Damian Priest in this match. I think, honestly, he's probably going to be one of the people who stays. Out of this, I think Robert Roode and Otis are the two that I could definitely see being taken out of the match before the match starts. Maybe some backstage fighting or some shit, or just them being removed from the match for no real reason. We've had that happen. Like, if you go look at the Rumble prediction or the Rumble video from last year, they removed people, and we found out during the show that they removed people. It was very, very annoying to find that out, that some people got changed around during it. So, we're just going to go with Otis and Robert Roode being taken out of the match at some point during the show for, honestly, who knows what reason. It could literally be just WWE not wanting to put them in the match. I hate them putting tag teams in the match. Like, I get it, you can put a tag team member in there, but putting multiple in there, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of dumb to do that. Like, just put a tag team member in there. Or don't split the tag team. But, like, put a tag team member in there. Don't put both of them in there. It makes no sense to me most of the time. So now we're going to say that there's 7 slots for both the men's and women's Rumble for returns. So we're going to go through the 7 people I think are likely to pop up in both Rumbles and talk about it. Number 1 for the Men's Rumble, Kane. I think Kane having... Kofi will tie him this year. Or, no, will be 3 behind him this year with his Rumble appearance. I think Kane popping up would just be like, hey, guess what? You're still 3 behind. Ha ha ha. But, I mean, if Kane's last Rumble is going to happen, it should happen here. It should happen in front of fans. It should happen when the fans can cheer him on and give him the proper Rumble send-off that Kane deserves as one of the most decorated Rumble participants of all time. I think Kane does not always get the love that he deserves as a wrestler and as a performer and as someone on the mic, but I mean, he's great. He's one of my favorite superstars from when I was a kid, and I absolutely love it, and I really do hope that if he does pop up at this Rumble, there is a loud pop for him because he does deserve it. Number 2 for the Men's Rumble, and there's, for each one, I will preface, I do have a singular person who I think is going to be the number 30 entrant in both the Men's and Women's Rumble, and we'll talk about that when we get to that person. That will be the final person I mentioned in both of these. Number 2, I actually really like this one, X-Pac. I guess he just got cleared to wrestle on the Indies, and I think him popping up here would be kind of cool. Something with Kane, maybe. You know, I think that'd be kind of cool to kind of give them a little bit of a nod between the two of them. I don't know. There's not much I can really say about this one. Kane and X-Pac being there together would be awesome. Could also swap Kane or X-Pac out for the Hurricane. Also works perfectly fine. There's a lot of people jokingly saying Cody's going to pop up or Jon Moxley or so many different people. It's like, guys, shut up. It's not going to happen. I mean, Jon Moxley popping up would be fucking insane. But I don't think it's going to happen. So number 2, X-Pac / Hurricane. Either one could fit in that slot. Honestly, I really don't care. Number 3, I think we're going to get one of the Usos, either Jimothy or Jay. I really don't care which one. Again, it's kind of like the X-Pac Hurricane thing. Either one could pop up. I'd have no issue. Number 4, Tommaso Champa. He's not going to be the only person from NXT, prefacing that now, for either Rumble. But I think Tommaso Ciampa popping up from NXT would be a really cool thing, especially because it does seem like they're trying to shift him up to the main roster. He's had a few dark matches and everything like that. And at this point, I mean, what else is he really doing on NXT 2.0? He's got a tag match coming up where he's tagging with Braun Breaker. Cool. Get him out of there before he starts drowning in the fucking mediocrity that is NXT 2.0. Number 5, the next person from NXT, LA Knight and or Roderick Strong. As both of them have had some dark matches before SmackDown recently, I think either of them would be a good fit to pop up in the Rumble. I feel like LA Knight would be the better option just because his song is a lot more like, oh, hey, that's LA Knight, because it says his name right at the start. But I think that'd be really cool to have LA Knight pop up specifically because I enjoy LA Knight. He's fantastic. I think he's really good on the mic. I think he's really good in the ring. And I think him popping up at the Rumble would be a pretty loud pop for the people who do also watch NXT. We're up to number 6. Damn. Well, we'll add a few more people who I think could be surprise entrants, but pretty much there's one that you guys will know I specifically mean for each of these. Number 6, Walter / Gunther, whatever you want to call him. I think he'd be a pretty cool one to see pop up as well. Just chopping everyone to death. Next slide. Number 7, I think potentially Grayson Waller. Continue his feud with AJ Styles a little bit. Probably get eliminated by AJ Styles as well. There's a lot of people thinking AJ might win the Rumble. I could maybe see it happening, but I don't see the reason why AJ would win it. Trying to think if there's anybody else I really could see being a surprise entrant in this. Triple H maybe, Shawn Michaels potentially. Probably not Shawn Michaels, but Triple H maybe I could definitely see. Potentially John Cena or The Rock could also very well pop up. And finally, the person who I think may be the 30th entrant, actually one of these two people I think will be the 30th entrant. Either Johnny freaking Wrestling, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Gargano making his triumphant return to WWE programming. I think, like, I know it's kind of an obvious, like, return thing. Like, oh, yeah, he's going to return at the Rumble. Big shock. But, like, could you imagine the fucking loud atmosphere that would happen if at number 30 Rebel Heart started fucking playing and Johnny Gargano came out, like, oh boy, people would lose their fucking minds, myself included. And I would absolutely love it. I think it'd be like the perfect time. Like, look, he's gotten a couple months off. Their kid is very close to being born, and look, I get it. He probably wants some more time off, but like, you could literally just have it be a quick pop, and then that's it. He comes in for this. We don't see him for another few months. After Mania, he attacks. Let's say new Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. Boom. Bingo, bongo, bango. Done. Boom. You have Johnny Gargano back in WWE on the main roster where he should be. Done. And or, at number 30, the lights all go out. You know, lights start flickering out. Everyone in the ring is very confused. And then you hear, "Let me in." And out comes the Fiend. I think if he comes back, look, I would love it if Johnny comes back. But I think at number 30, if we heard "Let Me In," no doubt about it, people will lose their minds. Because everyone wants Bray Wyatt back, I feel like, right now. And he should be back. Why they release him, I still don't know. I will never know. But he would be somebody that it's like, okay, if you guys brought him back, it'd work so well. Doesn't even matter if he doesn't win. It would work so well. And next, let's go on to the Women's Rumble, as we've talked enough about the men's. All right, first surprise entrant I think we're going to get is Alexa Bliss. I think with how, I mean, granted, it's not going to be a big surprise, but I think with how she's been talking recently on their, her popping up at the Rumble is a very good possibility. Next surprise entrant I think we're going to be getting is Trish Stratus, so she can mix up with Lita a little bit in there, because we haven't actually gotten to see them mix it up together in the ring. I don't think either of them is going to win it. There are rumors that Charlotte wants to face Lita. Like, I know that was something that was talked about for a long time after the Trish-Charlotte match, so I think it'd be kind of cool if, you know, if Charlotte and Lita finally got to mix it up a little bit in the ring. Next, we have from NXT, Cora fucking Jade. I think her popping up here would be really, really cool. She's awesome. She's one of my favorite people to watch on NXT right now. And, yeah. Let's keep it moving. Next, we have the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose. I think we can get her as a surprise entrant. Maybe potentially throwing Charlotte out of the ring to stop Charlotte from winning, which I think would be really cool. Goes back to that whole time when Charlotte was NXT Women's Champion after going back down to NXT for a bit, challenging Rhea after she won the Royal Rumble, which, again, would be kind of a cool thing. You know, Mandy Rose comes up to represent her brand, you know. I think that's like 3 or 4. What? 3? Is that 3? 3, I think. Next surprise entrant I think we could be getting is AJ fucking Lee. Oh, shit, there's somebody I forgot to mention for the men's. Corey Graves. He got cleared. I think Corey Graves is 100% going to be a surprise entrant in the men's Rumble this year. No doubt in my mind. Like, at all. Corey Graves is going to be a fucking surprise entrant in that Rumble. It just makes sense. He just got cleared right before the Rumble. He's obviously going to be in the fucking Rumble. Come on. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. But next, AJ Lee. I think we could be getting her as a surprise entrant. I would love it. I think all the fans would love it. I think it'd be cool to see her mixing up with Cora Jade a little bit. Which brings me to my next point. Paige. I believe she also just got cleared, or she's very close to being cleared. I think it'd be kind of cool if they kept it under wraps and she, you know, was announced as cleared for this right then and there. It'd be cool to see her mixed up with Sasha Banks a little bit, because Sasha's the one who prematurely ended her career. It'd be cool to see her, Cora Jade, and AJ Lee kind of mixed up in the ring a little bit, because they're all very similar. Paige and AJ Lee both really inspired Cora Jade with how she wanted her career to be. I think AJ Lee also kind of inspired Paige a lot, which is really cool. And yeah, I think that'd be really awesome to see them in some way kind of getting down towards the end of the Rumble for who I think is going to be number 30, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I think that'd be an awesome way for it to go. Trying to think. We've talked about a few. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I can really see popping up. Maybe Indy Hartwell. I could definitely see her popping up for a little bit. Throw some haymakers with a few people. can't think of anybody else. So let's get on to the number 30, who I think is going to be number 30 in the Women's Rumble, is Bayley. I think she's going to make her surprise return. Oh, right, Asuka. I forgot about Asuka. I could also see Asuka being a surprise return. Maybe Kairi. No, she's in Japan. Never mind. Can't be Kairi Sane. Maybe. Oh, fuck. Xia Li could probably be a surprise entrant. Could see that happening. But I think Bayley's going to be number 30. I don't think she's... She might be cleared. No. Asuka's cleared to compete, but Bayley hasn't been cleared yet, as far as I know. She's still on the injured list. But I would not be surprised if they were trying to keep it under wraps because they do want it to be a massive surprise. And at number 30, I think she should come out. And I'm going to go with the Adam Blampier Parts Unknown booking for this. I think she should definitely come out to her original theme with all the Bayley buddies and everything, even if it's just for the night. I think it'd be the perfect way for her to come out and just, have a cool moment of just having that song back, even for like just a day, would be awesome. Because Bayley's fucking awesome. That song is awesome-ish. And yeah, I miss her. She's an amazing wrestler, and she really helped carry the women's division during the entirety of the fucking pandemic era. So I think her showing up would be really, really cool. At the Rumble, I think that'd be a really awesome way. I also think potentially Santos Escobar could pop up in the men's Rumble, maybe as a surprise entrant somewhere near the end, kind of, or maybe in the middle to kind of just play the field for a bit and let, the whole mid-Rumble area where it kind of sometimes falls apart be dominated by a dude who's really, really good in the ring. Cameron Grimes potentially could also be a surprise entrant. The rest of Toxic Attraction. Kaylee Ray could probably be a surprise entrant. Maybe some people from NXT UK as well. I don't really know many of the NXT. Ooh, Ilya Dragunov. That'd be a fun one. Ilya Dragunov and Finn Balor. Finn Balor, he's not even in the Rumble. Confirmed to be in the Rumble, which is unfortunate. There's a lot of people, guys. So let me know who you think's going to be surprise entrants down in the comments below. Jesse and I probably won't be watching this pay-per-view until Sunday, unfortunately. So we will have the review up I'll have the review up as soon as I can. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what your predictions are down in the comments. Stay golden. Peace.